Hey, it's Ed here. Welcome to the first edition of a new playlist called Diagnosed, a Book is Born. And of course, this playlist has to include my co-author and bestie, Cris Ross. Cris, welcome to our first episode.
Ed, I'm on. This is amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to drop a couple episodes. So this is the inaugural episode leading up to the launch of the book. At this point, we still don't know when the book is coming out, but we heard with some level of confidence it could be as early as sometime in September, which is great
Right
because
after Labor Day.
we were looking at November or possibly March 25, but the sooner the better. So there'll be a series of episodes like this leading up to that. So this is episode one. Welcome. So what we want to cover in episode one is just how Cris and I became friends. So Cris, do you know how we became friends?
The earliest that I can really, I always knew who you were, but I think the earliest that I can think where we really connected was 2010 when we were serving on a board together, EHI Initiative
Yeah.
and eHealth Initiative. And yeah, we just became kind of professional colleagues then, kept in touch.
Yeah, that I remember that well as well. And you were the chairperson, I think, of the board. And I think I was going to be taking over after you, or maybe it was a couple year
I
gap.
don't
But
remember.
but I remember I was just like in awe. I was like, it's Cris Ross. It's like he's
No, no,
like,
no, no, no. You were Ed, the legend.
I don't think so, but yeah, it was great. Yeah, we connected. I was like, oh yeah, I really like this person. Your values resonated with mine. Your style. We're definitely different, but the core is very much the same. And then I think over time, can I share one embarrassing story? I haven't even passed this by you, but um,
Go
this
for it.
this one story. So I was so elated because you and I were going to share the stage at Hymns. I forget which Hymns it was, but it
Oh,
was the
golly.
big
Yeah.
Hymns, and it was going to be me, you, and we had a CIO colleague from somewhere in Europe. And I was like so excited. I remember introducing Simran to you. I think that might be the first time that the
Yeah.
two of you met.
In the
And I was so
hallway.
excited. And then I showed up to the talk, and my colleague from Europe was there, but there was no Cris Ross. Do you remember that, Cris?
Oh, I do. It was in my calendar as a Central Time Zone, and you'll remember we were in Las Vegas. We
Yeah.
were over in the Wynn across the street from the Venetian, where the sort of Venetian Sands, where the main event was held. I was mortified.
I
Awful.
I remember I was just gonna hide behind you. I was gonna let you answer all the questions first, and then I would like it'd give me something to think about, and then I'd look kind of smart. But I was stuck, man. It was like me and our European colleague. But anyways, that was super funny. Didn't mean to
I
embarrass you, but that
think
was
that
one of my
was I think that was Henning Schneider from Asklepios Hospital System in Hamburg.
yes.
He has the same hairstyle you and I have.
A very handsome gentleman, no doubt
Extremely.
about that. And yeah, so then we just kind of followed each other, see each other at conferences, um, chat quite a bit, and then ultimately we both ended up. Well, you were ready. You had become CIO at Mayo, and then I became CIO at Cleveland Clinic, and so we all obviously had this natural affinity as well. Just hearing what's going on in each other's organizations, sharing ideas and stuff like that, and obviously the friendship grew as a result of what we're going to talk about in episode two in terms of us both being diagnosed with cancer. Cris, before we end this episode, anything else on sort of the friendship or the longevity of the relationship between Ed and Cris?
Well, the thing that's amazing is how much we learned about each other after the fact. It's like, well, why did we resonate right off? And I learned number one, you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, so that was cool. Even though you live in Dallas, yeah, that was good. And connections like family and faith
Yeah.
and music and love for travel and adventure. It has been really great to uh, find the connection points between us over the years. It's been a
Yeah.
great friendship.
Yeah, it has. And so that really concludes episode one, just like how did Ed Marks, Cris Ross ever connect and get together and why? And in episode two, we'll kind of head into the history of the cancer, and then that'll lead us into episode three, is like the birth of the book. So thanks, Cris, and thank you to our audience for joining us. And look for episode two.
Stay tuned.